Who are you?
I'm Lynn, polyamorous activist living in Norway. Make people aware that polyamorous people, we exist, we're here.
What is love?
Wow, love. Love is so many different things. The feeling you get when you look into the eyes of somebody that truly, truly melts with your soul. The feeling you get when you smell the head of your baby. The feeling you get when you feel a community huddling around you and keeping you safe when the world is cold and hard. That is love for me.
What is relationship?
Oh, a relationship is also so many different things. Lifelong relationship between a child and a parent, love relationships, sexual relationships that are born out of desire. It's formed between people, and the people involved in it are setting the boundaries for what should this relationship have in it, what shouldn't be there, what do we need to make this work, and what do we need not to be there to make this work. A constant evolving space between people.
What is the biggest cliché in a relationships?
The biggest cliché when it comes to relationship is the cliché that there is only one soulmate out there for you, that one perfect match for you. I think there are loads and loads and loads of matches that are more or less perfect. When you hold true to that idea that there's only one perfect match and you're hunting for that perfect match, you are kind of losing out on a whole lot of wonderful people.
Can you imagine being in love with more people?
Yes. Being in love with several people and having several people in my life loving me is wonderful. It's who I am. I need to know that the people I love, they are safe with me to tell me that, well, I really love you, but I've met this other person and I think I might love them too. My people know that I will love them regardless. What's between us is between us, and I don't own them and they don't own me. So yes, several people at once, bring it.
What is Polynorge.no?
Polynorge or Polynorge is an organization that was founded about 5.5 years ago. It came because there was this underground movement of people that were polyamorous that felt the need for somebody to have their back. In the Norwegian society, nobody really spoke about polyamory. Maybe one article, one obscure newspaper, it was mentioned like something, ooh, look at circus freaks. But nobody spoke loudly about it. There's been international research showing that Norway is one of the most norm-firm countries in the world. We really want to fight for the people's right to form their own truth when it comes to love and family. So a lot of people live in a society where they think that the only truth is to be mono because they never heard anything else. And you can't take that conscious choice without knowing about all the alternatives. If you just know one story, that's the story you'll play out. If you know there are many roads to go on, you can choose one. The core activities of Polynorge is political, talking to politicians. We are talking to different parties. When you are making a new law, they invite different people and different organizations to say their part. How should this law be? This should be formulated like this, and this should not be saying this and that because that is exclusive of polyamorous people and things like that. And then we have the social arena, meeting points where people can meet. Then we have an online work, because Norway is a really long country and not everybody lives in a big city where there are other people. Going out to the media, trying to get out stories and showing that we exist. People tend to be afraid of things they don't know. If you've seen that polyamorous people exist time and time again, it could be my colleague, aunt, daughter or son, my friend that is polyamorous, then people aren't so afraid of it and negative towards it. So we've put in a lot of work to like just be visible, telling a different love story, kind of. Every time we're out in the media, we get a lot of hate. We spread information. So we go out to schools to have lectures to sexology students, psychology students, just to tell them about our story. And I was interviewed, 10-minute interview with me talking about different families and how you can be a parent even though you have like two 2 boyfriends or 2 girlfriends and things like that, and be a good parent. And he put that interview into the curriculum of the people who are educated to work in the social services. That means that everybody that is newly educated that starts working in the social services has heard about polyamory before they go into office. And that is a big win.
How is the Norwegian law towards consensual non-monogamy?
There is no way that you can have a third legal parent. And it's like really, really clearly stated that if you are a lesbian couple and you are being pregnant with somebody you know who the father is, still he cannot be reckoned as the father if you have a co-mother. In Norway there are loads of families that are actually polyamorous families with children, but most of them live under the radar. And we have stories about schools and kindergartens notifying child services because they are 3 people living together lovingly, saying that, oh, this is harmful to children. There are research showing that children growing up in polyamorous families tend to be better at communications. Gee, how bad. But except for that, children growing up in polyamorous families are just as well off as everybody else. And we have stories about people, they live together, 1 female, 2 males. She got pregnant, the midwife was a bit like, he's the father, so what's this guy doing here? Before the next checkup, she had heard a radio show where I was speaking about polyamory, and when they came back, she said, oh, no, I get it! And she was like totally switched from like, what's this thing here, never seen it, to, oh, so you're a big family, cool. In Norway, we have really good laws when it comes to the right to leave from work when you're becoming a parent. But that is only like in the mononormative families. There is nothing protecting polyamorous families. We need better laws to protect those families. Nope, can't do that, can't do that, can't do that, because there are laws saying that this is a marriage and this is cohabitating and this is and we don't fit in. Research shows that about 20% would prefer polyamorous relationships. It's every 5th person. You can't like continue to force people to fit into society. Sometimes you have to make society fit to people. I have not heard of any other organizations that are actively pushing towards new legislations and new laws and lobbying like we are doing. Society is very judgy, tells you that you are wrong and tell your children that they are wrong. And when I came out with this 5.5 years ago, I went straight out public talking about polyamory again and again and again in news, magazines, radio shows. And a lot of the comments that came back was, oh, I hope this awful person doesn't have children. Poor children won't understand. It's unnatural for the children and all that. And my daughter especially, she was like, what the hell are they talking about? Why is it poor me just because my mom loves a lot of people? She's got a lot of love. What's wrong with that, you know? Mom, I want to answer back. She was at that time 21 or something like that. There's no reason to feel sorry about me. I'm not polyamorous. I got more than enough with one. But I'm supporting you. And it doesn't have any like negative effects on me except for those people telling me that it should have a negative effect. And also my son has had a couple of appearances in the media where we were talking about politics with the opportunity to have 3 parents. And he was like, Mom, can I please say something somewhere? Because I would really love for my stepdad to also be my dad, because then I can inherit him. Practical. That was the poor child, you know, it's like, let me say something.
When was the first moment you realized that monogamy is not for you?
I tried, as most do, several monogamous relationships before I found polyamory. I didn't know how to love the way you were supposed to love, with like the one person and not feeling any interest towards anybody else and needing that one person to only want me and not wanting anybody else. I was obviously not made for this love thing. My love was broken. Then I met this man, and I can't promise you that I won't also love somebody else. So if we are going to have a relationship, it needs to be an open relationship, because that was the only word I know at the moment. And he was like, okay, that worked fine. After a couple of years, I heard the word polyamory for the first time and was like, what? There's others out there? There are others out there. This is the missing piece. It's obvious. I've been polyamorous my entire life. It's who I am. I've just been trying so goddamn hard to fit into this monogamous single story society telling me that this is love. My love ain't broken. It's just a whole of a lot of it.
How was your poly coming out?
We decided to come out as polyamorous when I was married to my then husband. We told the kids first. One of them were like, oh, couldn't you just be normal? Because teenagers want their parents to be like normal and grey and invisible. Okay, if this is you guys, of course you are allowed to be you guys. It doesn't affect me, so you do you. When we told them, my then husband was deeply in love with another woman, having that crush. He wanted to go on dates and things like that, and we didn't want others to see him with another woman and then tell the children and then make a lot of fuss about it. So when we told the children, we said that he was in love with another person, and I was fine with it. I was happy for him. One of the kids were like, oh, when can we meet her? How is she? Is she nice? Is she fun? Does she like games? The third child has autism. As an autistic person, you tend to follow the rules, and all the rules when it comes to relationships in society says too. You are supposed to be jealous, and you're supposed to not love somebody else, and all those things. So when we told about this, it was like, I've been thinking about this, and I was like really nervous, and I was like, yes, I'm different, right? And I said, yes, you're different, and you're fine with being different. Different is okay. It is, isn't it? It's okay to be different, yes. Well, this poly thing, that's your different, isn't it? Like, yes, that's our different. Well, then it's okay. And now the children, dare I say, proud of the work we do and see the value of it for other people. When you break norms, really norm-firm people will have trouble with accepting that, even though they are family or close friends. A lot of people, when they encounter people talking openly about being norm breakers, they say, oh, why do you have to say it out loud? Why can't you just hide it away? No, I shouldn't be forced to hide it away, because I have nothing to be ashamed of. Hiding it implies that I should be ashamed. It implies that it's something shameful. As long as what you do is consensual and built on equity, equality, go, live, love some more.
How many relationships you have at the moment?
Well, here comes the defining of relationships. At the moment, I have a deep love that I've had for 10 years. We define it as a comet, a relationship. We like circle, and sometimes our orbs meet and we have a great time together, and then we keep on our lives again. And then I have my ex-husband, which now is my best friend in the world. I would still say that we have a successful relationship, even though it's redefined from husband and wife to friends. And I have a new love. I'm falling in love with this new person that I'd met just 2 months ago. That is really exciting. Would any of these be defined by society as boyfriend, girlfriend? I don't know. I don't think I have a single relationship that is traditionally what you would see as, oh, they have a relationship. I don't care. They're my people.
Does more people mean more love?
Well, I think love is infinite. Time is not. You can't have relationships that are close and dear and if you don't also have the time to invest in those relationships. Like me and my comet, we love each other dearly, but we don't have everyday life together. For us, that is perfect. That is what we want. This is the relationship we want. It wouldn't work if one of us really wanted that everyday life. Then it wouldn't be a relationship, because then we weren't agreeing on the terms, and that frees up a lot of time for other people. At least one afternoon in the week with my ex-husband, my really, really good friend. Now with that new love, we spend a lot of time together. It's fun and it's dear and it's near and it's close, but I don't have the need to own all that person's time. This weekend, that person spent all weekend with another relationship they have, doing their things. I was missing them. but it was okay because that gives me room to miss them. I like that too.
What about hierarchy and polyamory?
I don't believe in hierarchy. I'm a bit of a relationship anarchist. The only hierarchy that exists is the fact that I won't allow any of my relations to tell me that I can't meet one of the others. My relationships are sacred. If you tell me that to have this, you have to forsake that, I'm forsaking you. Yeah, that's my firm limit.
What are the problems polyamorous people face?
The biggest problem polyamorous people or other non-monogamous people encounter is society hating on you or telling you that you are sick. Oh, you just haven't met the right one yet. And families like saying that, oh, if you have two partners, none of them can come over for Christmas because then you're not serious with any of them. We live in a really mononormative world. By having these little oases of other people thinking, feeling and wanting and needing the same things into you, you can come to that oasis and drink and quench your thirst and then go back into the mono and like, yeah, I can handle this.
What is the biggest cliché about polyamory?
Being polyamorous is really egocentric. That is the worst one, I think. It's quite the opposite. You can't have a really big ego if you're polyamorous because you need to be able to see the needs of your partner. Egocentrical cheaters. And you just have a fancy word for it. Cheating is really egocentrical. Having multiple relationships, parallel relationships, it's the exact opposite of cheating. Because cheating is going behind somebody's back, hiding something away, doing what you're not allowed to. Polyamory is talking about it. It's openness, sharing and finding out how can we make this work without anybody getting hurt. Allowing yourself and your partners to feel love for more than one person.
Is there something we didn't ask about?
Jealousy. Kill that myth that jealousy means love, because that is so bullshit. Jealousy is feelings of insecurity. Why am I insecure about myself or my partner or this other person or this thing or whatever? Then you can turn that jealousy into the tool that makes the relationship or the relationships even better.
What is your favorite love song?
Even though most love songs are about two people, as long as they don't in the lyrics say there's nobody else, they can also be about polyamory. Lately, I've been singing that Shallow from A Star Is Born. I really like that one. Being so hardcore, or do you want more? That's it. I'm blushing now.
What do you imagine first when you hear cancer?
The word cancer for me screams death. It hurts in your chest when you hear the word cancer because it punches you like a straightforward fist. So yeah. It's there, consuming, and it's so big, and it's so hurtful, scary. You feel it in your chest like you can't breathe. And it reminds you that you are mortal. Even though you're the strongest strong person in the world, you'll still get knocked off your feet. Bye bye. Thank you for listening.
Je to tak.